Hello everybody, Lucid Dream Infinity here. It occurred to me in the last video that maybe a minute or two of it was corrupted because I took the memory card out of my computer while the video was uploading, so not all of that file got uploaded onto here correctly. So I just wanted to go over some of that stuff in the last video about why bother learning lucid dreaming. Okay, so first of all, lucid dreaming is when you're asleep and you're in a dream and you realize, you sort of look around and say, oh, holy shit, I'm asleep and I'm dreaming right now. So it's an awareness. It's an awareness that you are inside of a dream while a dream is happening. And so at that point, all of a sudden, this sort of broad spectrum of options becomes available in terms of the different things that you can do. So obviously, one of the #1 reasons why people say that it's worth learning how to lucid dream is because of wish fulfillment, desire fulfillment. Because once you're aware that you're in a dream and you know that you're dreaming, all of a sudden it becomes possible to do virtually anything you can think of or anything that you could possibly desire. So some of the most popular things that people point to are, flying, right? Who hasn't wanted to experience what it's like to fly, like Superman? Or to have dream sex, right? You can manifest a dream character that meets all of your sort of ideals of physical attraction and have sex with them, right? So the #1 reason to learn lucid dreaming is wish fulfillment, desire fulfillment. So sort of beyond that though, the part that I really wanted to zero in on in this video is the real world applications of lucid dreaming. And so specifically what I'm talking about here is using lucid dreaming and sort of tapping into the purely mental dimension of the dream world when consciousness is sort of freed from the sensory bombardment of this physical world, right? We're constantly being stimulated by sense and sounds, and especially visual stimulation, the things that we hear, the things that we taste, right? The sort of physicality of things touching our bodies and the physical world, right? So we're constantly being bombarded with all of this sensory input. The great thing about the world of dreams, though, is that there is no physical sensory input. It's a purely mental dimension. And so this lends itself to consciousness being able to sort of operate at a higher level, in an accelerated way. And so when we look at history, there are numerous examples of very famous scientists and Nobel Prize winners and athletes and creative people who have come to realize these incredible breakthroughs and scientific discoveries inside of their dreams. And there's recently been research that was published at Harvard where there are these sort of cognitive scientists who are beginning to see and speculate that perhaps one of the reasons why human beings dream is to help us learn and to help us process information, and to help our minds organize and to make sense of the things that we learn and the experiences that we have and that we encounter. So there's this processing of information that occurs in dreams. And because dreams are a purely mental space, a purely mental dimension, right? They're created by the mind. It provides a sort of a context or an environment in which consciousness can operate and process information and absorb things and make connections faster at a more accelerated level, because once again it's in a purely mental space, it's in a purely mental dimension, and it's not being bombarded with this constant physical stimulation. So it sort of allows consciousness to be focused very intensely, right? It's sort of like a laser, like a very powerful sort of ability to operate and to see things and to make connections in a way and at a speed and with an intensity that just simply isn't available to most of us when we're awake, because our minds are sort of interfacing with this physical world, right? So the purely dimensional aspect of the dream world sort of lends itself to accelerated learning and to making these connections and discoveries. And the point I want to make is that we have numerous examples of this. We have numerous things that we can point to in the past and discoveries that have been made because of dreams that these scientists have had or that these creative people have had. And so in that sense, it's really worth cultivating this ability and cultivating this skill because of the just utterly powerful potential that it has to help us deal with the challenges and the obstacles and the problems that we face in this physical world that we all share. So in that sense, if we can start using more of our consciousness and start sort of recruiting the power and the potential of consciousness while we are awake, but also while we are sleeping, that's going to bring an entirely new realm of mental power into this physical world and into this this sort of plane of existence that we all share, by recruiting more brain power, by recruiting this other side of consciousness in the mind that is largely left completely untapped and completely not recruited, when in fact it has proven itself throughout history and throughout time to be one of the most powerful resources that human beings have in terms of cultivating a new dimension of mental power. So that's sort of one of the primary reasons that I think it's worth to learn lucid dreaming. Okay, more videos to come.